Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my first scripted, professional camera review. Today we are reviewing, where am I put it? We are reviewing the Canon 6D Mark II and all its beautiful, cheap, full frame, 26 megapixel glory. You've just seen a quick bit of video that I shot earlier, and a few photos I believe as well, just thrown in at the start. That was all shot on the 6D Mark II with the 50mm and the 24mm, 50mm 1.4, 24 2.8. Anyway, let's jump into this video. So today we're asking the question, is the Canon 6D Mark II a good value proposition in 2020? Quick overview of the 6D Mark II. It is a 26 megapixel budget and full frame DSLR with a fully flippy articulating LCD screen. The 6D line is Canon's most budget full frame line that you can get. I bought the camera used in late 2018, early 2019 I believe, for $1,300, which they're going for still for about $1,800 to $2,000 in Australia, high end from Australia. So yeah, I got it really cheap in brand new condition because the guy wanted to do 3 angles with some wedding thing but couldn't. But anyway, let's answer the question, is this worth it in 2020? Now as you can see, I'm on a set, I'm not out anywhere because isolation. I'm self-isolating, I'm just, well, yeah, I don't know, I'm at home. Anyway, let's get into it. So the Canon 6D Mark II offers a 26 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor, shoots a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames per second and 24p without a firmware update. Go figure, Canon. Standard ISO range of 100 to 40,000. We'll be doing a low light test later on with this camera, midway through this video because it's getting dark outside, so woo! The Canon 6D Mark II has borrowed and used the 45-point AF system straight out of the ADD, so it's all cropped into the center when you're shooting through the viewfinder. Talking about viewfinders, it uses the pentaprism style viewfinder, which has 98% coverage of what you see through the sensor. Obviously it shoots like the Canon CR2 RAW format, which is, it's good. I don't have any complaints about it. Other people might, personal preference. I like it, it's pretty sick. It can shoot 6.5 frames per second continuous in any shooting mode, which isn't that bad for the most budget full frame flippy outy vlog sort of thing. The Canon DSLR of 2017, because that's when it came out, believe it or not. You probably already know that, but I told you anyway. The Canon 6D Mark II uses the tried and true Canon LPE6N battery. That is not an LPE6N, that's just an off-brand one. I do have one, I'm just not using it at the minute because it's charging. And with the official Canon LPE6N battery, you'll get about 1,200 shots to a battery, which is really good. I was going to make a point of mirrorless bodies not being able to do that, but they are getting a lot better. One very controversial thing about the Canon 6D Mark II is its dynamic range, which my Canon 700D and an 800D, which I'm filming on now, have more. The 6D Mark II comes in at 11.9/12 stops of dynamic range, and its base ISO of I think 400. Don't quote me on that. Apparently it just looks best at ISO 400 to get the most dynamic range. DP review scored it at 80% overall, which is what DP review said, and an 85 on DxOMark. So a Google Pixel smartphone is better than this $2,000 DSLR, go figure. Camera comes in at, relatively speaking, a pretty light 765 grams with the battery inside of it. Isn't that bad from memory, really bad memory. The 5D Mark II that I owned beforehand, I think that was about 800 and change grams. I predominantly shoot on the 24-70 f2.8, which I'm recording on now through an 800D, which weights with this body absolutely perfect in my opinion. The 50mm f1.4 isn't bad either. Obviously, like, it's a smaller, less larger lens that is smaller and lighter. Doesn't feel bad either. I don't have the lens on me because we can't go anywhere. I can't get it back from my friend. But a friend of mine is borrowing / using my 10-18 at the moment, which I also run on that. Yes, a Canon EFS lens on full frame. I just chopped the back off. There's plenty of YouTube videos talking about that, just saying modding 10-18 to full frame, whatever. Which gets me a 14mm f5, which did me really well when I worked for real estate. It was a cheap lens, it was disposable, it had amazing autofocus, it could focus really close, blah blah blah. It was really wide, really cheap. So in my opinion, since I haven't tried anything really better as a sense, the 6D Mark II, if you want to start out in 2020 with where the cameras are now as of recording, which it is, date as of recording this video is the 13th of April. So none of the EOS R5s and R6s and the cheaper ones, they're not fully released yet. So basing it off of released cameras, the biggest competitor is the RP. Now lenses, if you're literally just starting out and you want to start full frame because you've heard raves about it, I'd say go with the 90D anyway. I haven't used the camera, so. But in my opinion, 6D Mark II, full frame lenses, beautiful L lenses, glass, whatever. It's very good. It has served me quite well over the 2 or so years that I have had the camera. Why I would recommend the EF line of cameras over the RF line is Canon have done an awesome thing, and they focused on their much more expensive glass and all their L lenses and their fast primes and that for the RF line of lenses. But they're not cheap. So you can get the EOS RP for like $1,000 US, I think. And that's now got 24 frames back in it. But you can't get any good lenses cheap at all. But I picked up this 24-70 2.8, oh wow, 2 years ago as well, probably longer. Because I ran it on my 700D for a while. But yeah, I got that a while back for $900, and it's the Generation 1, so 2.8. Which is mint. So all up, I usually run with like a $2,000 just camera lens setup. Obviously not including SD cards and microphones and blah blah blah. So as I've been talking, you've seen all the B-roll and the pretty stuff of the camera. So I've already kind of spoken about, is it worth it in 2020? I believe yes. I believe it is, because I know for a fact that you can find them quite often quite cheap. Because professionals and prosumers who picked one up when they were new and sort of like, oh yeah, they're a nice B camera or whatever, and now moving over to the RF line, so you can find them being flogged off relatively cheap. You know, I'm more than happy with my 6D Mark II at the moment. Obviously, I would love 4K. It does 4K built-in time lapses. Haven't used them before because I haven't. So why can't it do 4K recording? I don't know. Like, I'd be so happy. I know they're not going to, but if they came out with a firmware update, going like full frame 4K with autofocus would be amazing, but they'd have to cripple it somehow. It'd probably be 30 FPS, which doesn't bother me. If I got 4K and autofocus at 30 FPS, I'd be more than happy. For what the camera's worth, I believe it is amazing, in my opinion, for a beginner, slash someone who wants a B cam, which looks good and can gel well with other Canon cameras. Now, right now I'm shooting with the Technicolor Cinestyle profile on this. If you happen to get a Canon 6D Mark II, 90D, blah 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 blah, any Canon camera, throw Technicolor Cinestyle on the camera and you will get insane footage out of that camera, which all of my stuff is filmed with it on it. And just a really simple bit of contrast, bit of sharpness and a bit of saturation, and it looks mint. This is what this shot looks like without, not a color grade, just without the colory stuff put onto it. Yeah, it's pretty damn flat. And this is what it looks like with it. You've seen it the entire video. Also, film cameras, that's pretty sick. Review of this one, the Pentax Asahi SP1000, coming soon. These two don't work too well. The Zenit camera with a Helios 44M on it works alright. but it's got a problem. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's video. It was all over the place because it's my first time doing this. I've got like camera, monitor, and another monitor. Hold on, this is what I'm looking at. Like, this is literally what I'm looking at. I got the camera, big monitor of me, hi, and well, I did have the Surface with. I also had the Surface with paste notes, not paste notes. And I also had the Surface running with some notes on it. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next videos. Go watch another video. I've recently done a couple camera reviews. They'll be here somewhere. Subscribe.